Hey, folks. Grab your game gear, make yourself comfortable, because today we dive into the great classic Chase HQ for Game Gear. Yes, we're talking about that little portable gem that makes you feel like you're driving a real police car, except it's like trying to do it with your hands tied behind your back. Chase HQ is one of those games that seems to promise everything: breathtaking chases, pure adrenaline, the idea of being the protagonist of an 80s detective film. The arcade version was a bomb, a dream for those who wanted to be a policeman who speed around in your car and catch the criminals. Then here's the Game Gear version, and this is where the descent begins, into hell.
So, the game is simple. You are a policeman. You have to chase criminals in your super fast car. The problem? Speed here is just an illusion. It's like driving through molasses. There are 3 types of roads: straight, curved, and sharper curves. Wow, what a variety, huh? The problem is that they all look the same after 5 minutes. But it's not just the monotony that pisses you off. The car seems to move as if it were on broken skids. You're always fighting with the controls, and every time you try to correct your trajectory, your car seems to want to crash just for fun. The graphics, well, let's say they do their job. Don't expect to see details like in the console or arcade versions. Here everything is flat and boring. The streets look like they were drawn by a child with a ruler, and the backgrounds? But they're their backgrounds. There's just a few random trees and buildings thrown in there, as if they've been forgotten. The colors are dull and monotonous, which makes each level practically identical to the previous one. It's like watching the same scene from a movie for an hour in a row.
Okay, I admit, there are 2 or 3 things I can appreciate. For a portable game, it's a nice idea. Chasing the bad guys, punching them until they give up, is fun, for the first 5 minutes. There's also a timer that gives you a feeling of urgency, and okay, when you manage to reach the goal before the time runs out, there's a little satisfaction. But don't expect to be impressed by the variety of gameplay, because it's always the same: you accelerate, you steer, and you hope you don't end up in a ditch. Here's the fun part: this game is the king of frustration. Sometimes the criminals are practically unreachable, and your car becomes a snail on steroids. Then there are the controls. You think you're going around a bend, but instead you go straight against a barrier. There is no way to avoid damage. The other vehicles on the road are just there to ruin your day, appearing out of nowhere just when you are trying to overtake them. You can't avoid them.
Ah, the audio, if you can call it that. Music is like a jackhammer drilling into your ears. And the sound effects? Well, imagine being in a race car and hearing a constant beep, boop, as if your console was trying to have an alien conversation. It's all monotonous, repetitive, and in the long run it makes you want to turn off the sound and play in silence. At the end of the day, Chase HQ on Game Gear is a wasted opportunity. The potential was there, but it's been flushed down the drain along with your dreams of being a super cool cop. If you want to experience the thrill of Chase, play arcade or try a console version. It's a double rip-off.
If you liked this review, click like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments which other game you would like to see dismantled piece by piece. See you next time, with more games to destroy and more Game Gear to download. Hi!